Welcome back to part 11 of Paper Mario. We're about to enter Forever Forest and Chapter 3. The Invincible Tuba Bluba. Anyways, this is Forever Forest. This is the next area that we are entering. We have to pass through this forest to get to the mansion, which is where the old ghost told us that we needed to go. The thing about Forever Forest that one should be considerate of is that you have to kind of watch your surroundings. Like, pretty much all this is it's just a big giant circle. You're just going to keep running around in circles, and you have to take the different path in order to get through this without missing, I guess, your exit. It's like, I was running around this path, I saw this flowers, like, oh, these ones are actually singing and smiling, and I wonder if this is the gate that we should go through. What do you think you're doing? This is Forever Forest. The path ahead of here is extremely dangerous. Didn't you know that? You better go back. Okay, so that's your story. You're invited to Boo's mansion. You may pass then. Listen carefully. If you want to get through this forest, you have to pay really close attention to your surroundings. If you choose the wrong path, you'll end up back at the forest edge before you know it. The areas around the correct paths will always look slightly different from the others. Watch carefully for clues. For example, in this area, take a good look at the inner trees as you walk around. In one of them, you'll spot strange glowing eyes. The exit near that tree is the path you want to take. These clues will be different in other parts of the forest. Watch the inner forest very, very carefully as you go. So that's Oakley. He's the guard of Forever Forest. Technically, you can actually enter this forest as soon as Chapter 2. But, unfortunately, unless you get the invitation from the old Boo to actually go to the mansion, he's going to stop you right there at the gate and you won't be able to progress any further. And there are tons of fuzzies in this forest. These are forest fuzzies. They're a new enemy that we're going to be encountering. They're actually pretty annoying. As you saw, when you encounter a fuzzy, they just kind of jump around, follow you until you pretty much either you get away from them or you just take them out all together. These enemies are also annoying too because if you don't defeat them fast enough, they will spawn extra fuzzies, making this battle more and more long than it needs to be. And also, as you just saw there, he's just sucked away some HP of mine. You want to take them out as quickly as possible because they can re-heal themselves. But if you're better at blocking than I am, this should be no issues. And we're gonna get some extra star points from our lovely wizard lady. So yeah, the thing about Forever Forest, like Oakley was saying, you want to take the paths that are different. If you take the wrong path, you're going to end up at the forge edge, which means if you take the wrong path, you're going to end up at the beginning where we started. So, if you ever played The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, for example, it's kind of like the Lost Forest in a way. If you take the wrong path, you're going to end up at the edge of that area. So, like here, we got some flowers we're going to interact with. You have to interact with all these flowers because one of them is actually going to have a different dance than those ones. So, like, here we got some blue flowers. They look a little different from the others. So that's the path we're going to take. But if you find yourself wondering what to do, if you actually go up here, you can actually find Oakley. He'll give you the same spiel that he gave you when we first entered the forest. So, yeah, again, just take the paths that have the different, the scenery, and you'll be just fine. But, yeah, these blue flowers right over here, this is the path that you want to take. Because if you take any other path besides this one, you're going to end up at the forge edge again. And before this one, there was a tree that actually had glowing eyes in it, like 2 red glowing eyes, because I was too busy talking about the fuzzies. So yeah, that tree with the glowing eyes is the path that you want to take to get out of here. And that's because that's the only tree in that particular area that has that feature. Anyways, we got another boss battle here. We got more forest fuzzies, and we also have another enemy, a piranha plant. They're not too hard to beat. That's unless you don't beat these guys quick enough. Obviously, they'll spawn more fuzzies, make this battle a lot longer. But Cooper's shell shot, or power shell, excuse me, does a trick, so. Yeah, so this area, we're going to take a look at the tree trunks. Obviously, right up there, you just saw, there was a face that showed up in that tree. Anytime you walk by, that face shows up. That's the path that you want to take. So we're going to go through here. In this area, you're going to take a look at these mushrooms right here in the center. You're actually going to want to interact with all these. There's actually one area here that's actually going to have more mushrooms than all these other areas, and that's the path that you're going to want to take to get out of here. So it's not going to be that one, so it should be this one. So yeah, this path right here with all these mushrooms is the path that you're going to want to take. Alright, in this area, we're going to interact with the flowers. And try not to get eaten by piranha plants. So obviously, just like the first set of flowers, they disappeared. Those ones disappeared. These ones disappeared. So obviously, the ones that didn't disappear is the path that you want to take. Which is this one. So by interacting with these flowers, obviously they're just dancing, they don't disappear. That's the path you're going to want to take. But yeah. If you see the sign right here, that means you've done everything correctly. This is the path that you're going to want to take to go to Boo's mansion. And then that will get you to the mansion, get you out of the forest. Forever Forest, just like Dry Desert, Forever Forest actually has some extra secret areas that you can actually venture into. I'm not going to show it off in this playthrough, obviously, because we're just doing the storyline. Maybe I'll show that off in an extra video. But yeah, there's like some other areas of Forever Forest that people never really see because they don't really like venture that much in the forest. It's pretty much just getting into the forest and getting out as quickly as possible. But in those secret areas, you can find hidden items like you can find rare badges and all these other things. Again, maybe I'll show that off in an extra video at the end of this playthrough. But for now, let's just go ahead and continue on. We're going to take this path right here. If you have business at Boo's Mansion, please come this way. Take this gate, and you'll go straight to Boo's Mansion. Phew! Well, looks like we finally made it out of that spooky forest. Hey, Mario. What do you bet that's the mansion that the old Boo was talking about before? It is, Cooper. Yeah, if you come over here to the right, you'll find this block. There's actually a Voltage room in it, which would have been very helpful with those fuzzies. But, yeah. Welcome, sirs and madam. I'm pleased you made it through Forever Forest. My master awaits you in the room highest up in this lovely mansion. Please go to the 3rd floor. There you will hear all the news of the Star Spirits. I'll see you there. Alright, so this is Boo's Mansion. This is the first area we're going to be visiting in this chapter. This is pretty much a puzzle-like area, I guess you could say. There's a lot of different doors, a lot of different areas that you have to go through to make it through here. And I want to show this off because a lot of players don't know about this, but if you jump on this crate here and you jump into the spot, you can actually turn into 8-bit or 16-bit Mario. And if you listen closely, it actually comes with its own unique old Super Mario's tune. But yeah, that's pretty much the gimmick of this. Once you leave the room, unfortunately, Mario will revert back to normal, so you can only use that feature in that room. So a kind of neat little feature for anybody who's played this game or haven't played this game and doesn't know much about that. That's something you can do. But we're going to go ahead and go up to the 2nd floor here. We'll figure out what's going on with that here in just a little bit. If we come over here, we're going to interact with this wardrobe. And out comes a bunch of boos. Mario, you have come. If you want this record, you must guess who holds it. The Lady Bow will be very angry if you let him get it too easily, fellow boos. Do your best, like we practiced. So yeah, it's pretty much a game of like, I guess who holds it. Pretty much all you have to do is just keep an eye on the top boo. He's going to drop a record to one of the boos below, and then you pretty much have to keep your eye on that boo. And obviously, you got to whack that boo with your hammer in order to get the record. No, boo-hoo. You guessed right. Go on, take this. Oh, boo. Lady Bow's really gonna flip out on us. And he's got the record. A record of upbeat music. How can you play this? And I was actually jumping right there because there's actually a hidden panel right there with a star piece. But I also forgot I didn't have the appropriate, like, attack to do that. Like, the power-up, I guess you could say, to make those panels. Which we'll see here in a little bit. I am so bored. Bored. I know the Lady Bow ordered me to stay here, but for how long? Anyways, this Boo's guarding a chest. He's not moving anytime soon. Even if you walk around it, he's not gonna let you in. So we got to find a way to get him away from the chest. But if you come over here, you're gonna find this record player, and this is where you're gonna put the record. And you have to play the record to a certain rhythm. And you have to play at the right rhythm. If you play it too fast, or I'll show you. So you have to repeatedly press A here. You have to keep the bar right there where it says OK. Because if you do, obviously you see the Boos coming over here dancing. If you play it too fast, normally he walks away, but hang on. Oh yeah, such rhythm. What a groove. Party. Oh, boo. Is that the end? I was just starting to bust out my best dance moves. So yeah, the trick is, you gotta get the Boo away from the treasure chest by playing this record player here. And I'm trying to show you exactly what happens when you press A too fast. So like, again, you gotta keep technically the bar right where it says OK. I'm trying to get him to come over here so you can actually see. So like, he's coming over, but then if you play too fast, he's gonna turn around and just walk away. So you have to keep it real steady until he at least comes over and starts dancing. And then when he comes over to the record player and starts dancing, you can actually pump up the bar to max if you wanted to, because it's not going to affect him at this point. And when you do that, you can slip away, get to the treasure chest, and you can obtain the weight. A very heavy weight. How can you use this? Oh no. Lady Bao gave me one job, to guard that treasure chest. She's going to punish me so bad if she finds out about this. Oh well, I might still be okay. It's not like you can get anywhere without knowing how to use that weight. So yeah, we obtained the weight. We gotta figure out what it's for. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back down here. We're gonna back down to the first floor. And there's gonna be a couch right over here with a miscolored cushion. You're gonna jump on this orange cushion, and it's going to launch you up, and you're going to grab this chandelier. And by pulling down the chandelier, it will reveal that door, which was being covered by that wardrobe back there. And if you don't, and technically the weight is supposed to be used for that, because if you don't put the weight on, obviously the wardrobe will slide back in place, it'll cover the door, and you're not getting anywhere. So we're going to do this again. We're going to jump on the chandelier. And then we're going to put the weight on it, and that holds it down, so that way this door will stay open, so we can continue on. Oh, a treasure chest. Wonder what this does. Yeah, there's nothing in that treasure chest, it's just a joke. There's actually a wall you can break right here. I played this game so many times to a point where I just know where everything's at. We'll figure out what this room is here in just a little bit. We're going to come across this room here. We're going to go in here. And the door is gone. You walk in, the door disappears, now you're stuck in this room. What are we supposed to do? Well, if you actually come over here, you're going to find a treasure chest, and we're gonna open it. Because the treasure chest, we gotta know what's inside. And of course, more boos fly out. But one of them's actually holding on to these boots. Mario, welcome. If you want these boots, you must guess who holds them. The Lady Bao will be very angry if you let him get them too easily, fellow boos. Do your best, just like we practiced. So just like the first set of boots we did, they're going to take the boots, but they're going to toss them around to each other. You kind of have to keep an eye on it from here. And just like the first set of boots that we encountered, you have to smack the one that has the boots with your hammer. And I ended up messing up here. I was trying to hit this boo right here, and I ended up smacking the wrong one by accident. I was trying to hit the one right below him. Again, they're going to do the toss. They're very hard to hit too, so you have to be like very careful. But I finally got it that time. And we got the Super Boots, which raises Mario's jump power. And Mario can now do the spin jump while pressing A in the air. No, boo-hoo. You guessed right. Go on, take them. Oh, boo. Lady Bao is really going to flip out on us. There's a hidden floor panel very near here. A star piece is underneath the floor panel. Press A while jumping. Boost of luck. Can you find it? So yeah, this is the floor panels that I was talking about earlier in that one room when I was trying to like spin jump. So yeah, by spin jumping, Mario can now reveal hidden floor panels. which is around here somewhere. I just can't remember where it was when I was doing this playthrough. There it is. Yeah, that's a floor panel. If you do a spin jump right next to a floor panel, it'll actually, like, bounce in the air a little bit. And that pretty much just tells you that, hey, there's a floor panel there that might have a star piece in it. So, yeah. And a lot of star pieces in this game are not only found just, like, on rooftops or behind bookcases or any objects. They're actually found in the floors, too. So, make sure you're looking out for floor panels. Lady Bao told me not to sell any items to Mario. You're him. Anyways, yeah, there's a shop down here in Boo's Mansion. We can't use it right now. But yeah, there's a switch here. We're going to hit it. There's another switch. We're going to smack it. And we got a bigger switch right here. But unfortunately, our hammer doesn't work. Bombette can't do anything to it. So what are we going to do about this switch? Well, we're going to climb up here. And we're going to do a spin jump. And by hitting that switch, we reveal the staircase that'll take us back up to the next basement floor, I guess you could say. Oh, by the way, these boxes here are breakable. If you do a spin jump on top of them, you can find items. Like I just found a super shroom right there. I found a maple syrup earlier. And sometimes you can find a rare item called an apple, too, in those crates. But yeah, let's go ahead and climb our way back up here. And we're going to go back to the first room that we visited when we first entered the mansion, which is this room right here. Because we need to break this floor piece right here. But I believe... I was trying to see if I could find an apple. Yeah, see, there's an apple right there. Heals 5 HP. So if you're ever looking for apples for like a recipe for something in this game, this is where you can find apples. But by spin jumping, we come back into this room. It looks like the library, which is what we saw earlier. We're going to use Perkery here. We're going to fly across this gap, but we're going to find this key item. Boo's portrait. A portrait of an old male Boo. Which we'll need that here in just a sec. That'll help us complete this whole mansion part of the chapter. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and climb back upstairs once again, but we're going to go to the second, the balcony, I guess the second floor balcony, I guess you could say, of the mansion. Which is accessible by the staircase. And then we're going to interact with this portrait that's shaking here. And we're going to use the Boo's portrait on it, because this is what we need to be able to access the third floor. Phew, that feels better. It's nice to be back inside my frame after so long. But I didn't even tell you how to go find the drawing. You solved the riddle on your own. Are you just lucky or what? Maybe it's just a coincidence. In any case, you managed to stumble on the secret way to the upper floor. Jump towards the drawing and I'll take care of the rest. You've earned your way up to the third floor. No, I just play this game so much I know exactly what I need to do. Say hello to Bo for me. But yeah, by jumping in that Boo's portrait, you get access to the third floor and we get access to this room. You finally arrived. You took your sweet time, huh? I was testing you to see if you could live up to your reputation. How were the tests? Tough? My name is Bao. I'm glad to finally meet you. I'm Bootler, the butler. I'm Lady Bao's humble servant. The reason I asked you here is that I need a favor. Bootler, give him the rundown. Of course, my lady. Mario, do you know the area near here called Gusty Gulch? A hill rises at the top of the gulch, and upon it sits the castle of Tuba Blooba. He's a monster, and he eats us, ghosts. Boos are his favorite food. Many friends have been eaten. We've tried attacking the evil fiend to save our friends, but Tuba Bluba is far too strong for us boots to slow him down even slightly. He seems invincible. That's why he's known as the invincible Tuba Bluba. There is hope, however. If the rumors are true, then Tuba Bluba has a secret that he closely guards. And that secret is probably something that relates to his weak point. So Mario, I want you to find out his secret and defeat him. You'd do it, won't you? Of course, you'll get a reward for doing us this service. If you beat Tuba Bluba up, I'll let you have this. Mario, I'm sorry we must meet in such a dire situation. My name is Scholar. I escaped from Tuba Bluba's castle, but I was in quite a weakened state when I made it outside, and as a result, I couldn't go back to the sky at first. I tried to head for Shooting Star Summit to make the leap to Starhaven, but I became lost in the forest. While hunting for a way out, I was captured by Booze, and now here I am. I don't know what to say. What do you think, Mario? Not such a bad deal, is it? You would have to fight Tuba Bluba to save the Star Spear anyways, right? This way, you help us Booze too. Besides, I'm going with you. I like to help you like no one else can. My lady, what did you say just now? You, at Tuba Bluba's castle? Quite out of the question. I simply cannot allow you to put yourself in such danger. Still your tongue, Bootler. I've seen too much suffering caused by Tuba Bluba. I wish to see him punished with my own 2 eyes. Besides, Mario will need me. There's no way he can reach the castle without my powers. Oh, alas, then, lady, I, Bootler, will accompany you. This is my sworn duty to see that no harm befalls you. The ancestors demand it. I will be at your side always. You stop that nonsense. I'm not a child anymore. I'll be fine by myself. You wait here for my return. Lady. Is this alright, Mario? I'll join up with you until we oust Tuba Bluba. Yeah, and now Bao joined our party whether we like it or not. But yeah, she's gonna be our 4th party member. She can make us invincible, and when we're invincible next to enemies, enemies will, like, if you're being chased by an enemy and you make yourself invincible next to them, they'll, like, get confused and they'll, like, walk away, so. Okay then, Tuba Bluba's going down. And sorry, I meant 5th party member, not 4th. But anyways, now that we have Bao as a partner, we can actually continue on. Before we go, we're going to go ahead and do a spin jump here. And there's another panel right here in front of the couch with another star piece. We're going to go ahead and collect that, and we're going to head outside the mansion. Might as well save our progress while we're here. But yeah, in part 12, we will be heading to Gusty Gulch and Tuba Bluba's castle. See you then.